take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. This is the morning show here on Stock Market TV. Spencer, JC, Steve, Alfonso. A lot to discuss today. It's been a couple of days since we've talked about anything hot corner related on this show, but we have some things to discuss today on the hot corner front, so we'll definitely do that. Obviously, it is Friday, which means on the morning show, it is Crypto Fridays. We'll talk to Louis Sykes about what's going on in his world. And that'll be in a few minutes from now. We'll have Kenny Glick, we'll have Alfonso. And yeah, there are some things that we have like sort of been putting on the back burner this week that I want to get to today. Hot corner is one, some other headlines that are on my in the doc today. So that's the plan. Smash the like. Good morning, chat. Good to see you all as always. I guess we'll start. Here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a night I had last night. Jason Worth, what a good egg. Good egg, Jason Worth.
Does he still have a insane beard?
It's not so much like insane. It's like I mean, it's better than yours, but like it's not like
Sure.
I mean, I would say it's like fine. I wouldn't like look at him and be like, wow, that's the greatest beard ever, but it's like a pretty dope beard, you know?
All right. I remember him having.
He's gonna come on the show, and he's gonna tell his baseball stories.
That's awesome. I'm for it,
right?
Yeah, I'm for it.
Super nice guy. Also met Gary Cohn, hanging out with him yesterday. Super nice guy, by the way. I didn't realize that he went to American University, which is where Rick went. So
why
him and
are
Rick
you hanging out with all these sports people?
You know, I don't know. I'm kind of a big deal. First of all, Gary Cohn worked at Goldman Sachs. He's not a sports guy.
Oh, you said Gary Cohn? Oh, I thought you said Gary Cohen.
Chairman of IBM. No, not.
Wait, I thought you said Gary Cohen. Wait, never mind. It's a different person entirely.
Yeah. Gary Cohn. Super nice guy.
Gary Cohn. All right.
I didn't meet Dalio. I didn't have time. I bailed on Dalio. Is that how many people you think bail on Dalio?
I don't know. Not many.
Not many. So I bailed on Dalio. I feel a little bit guilty. But Gary Cohn was cool. And then I took the train down to Philly, and I was hanging out with Jason Worth all night. He had action on because he's an Eagles fan. Because when he was with the Phillies, I guess they treated him really well, so he turned into an Eagles fan. And dude, this guy was betting the second half. He had action. I mean, he was all in. What a nice guy. He's telling me baseball stories all night. Nobody else gave a shit about his baseball stories except for me. He finds the one Cuban guy, and
there you go. All right, let's do state of the markets, and again, let's get into it here. We got things.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Dow futures down 180 points this morning. That's 40 basis points, still 43,725. Wow. S&P 500 futures down a little bit over 0.5%, back under 6,000. Oh my God, they're in free fall. The NASDAQ 100 down 1%, 20,800. That's 200 points to the downside. 30-year bond futures down 0.5% at 116. Crude oil down 0.5%, just under 69. Copper up almost a full percent, 412. Gold flat at 25.70. Silver up close to 0.5%, still under 31. With the volatility index up to 14.5. Over in funny money land, we got Bitcoin up 2.5% this morning. That's 2,000 points. 89,500, with the Ethereum just under 3,100, up a full percent this morning. And Solana 213 up 2%. Binance 618 down 0.5%. Total crypto market cap, Spencer Israel, 2.908 trillion total crypto market cap, with the Bitcoin dominance just under 61%. What stands out this morning?
We'll talk more about that with Louis. I've been expecting that number to start with a 3 one of these days. It
Well, we
hasn't.
kissed it. We kissed it this week and backed off,
I
which is
know,
where we
but
backed off in the
but
past.
if you kiss it at 3 in the morning, that doesn't really count to me because I wasn't awake for it. Right?
Well, the
You know what
world
I
does
mean?
not revolve around the what time it is in New Jersey.
My world revolves around me, and so if I wasn't awake, and it happened for like 5 minutes, it didn't happen.
Yeah. No, I get that. And at the end of the day, you know, joking aside, the world kind of does revolve around what time it is in New Jersey. So that's, you know. Look at
This
this.
is true.
Strazza
This
is
is
literally
true.
chiming in. The world actually does revolve around that. Yeah. All right. I take it back.
Strazza is here. His camera's off at the moment, but no, Steve's here. He's chiming in.
We'll bring him in. Our chief
Yeah.
YOLO officer has some thoughts and some opinions.
Yeah.
I am indeed excited for this weekend. I got to go to New Jersey for a wedding.
Cool.
So can we talk about these 13 Fs, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
the whole thing is, you know, every quarter, around the middle of the quarter, we all do this thing where we pretend that this data is not 45 days old,
Okay.
right? Like we could be like, "Oh my God, did you see what Warren Buffett did?" Or the guy from the movie. What's the guy from the movie that people love?
Yeah, Michael Burry. No,
Michael
okay.
Berry.
So
Oh
here,
my
so
God, did you see what this guy did? Dude, that was 45 days ago.
actually, it was more than that, but
It's probably more than that, right?
no. I don't think it's like quote unquote important information, but like a lot of things, I think it's interesting. For this, it's the same thing about earnings, right? It's like earnings, like for any given quarter, you know, Robinhood's earnings don't matter, right? For like a random quarter in any old year, but that doesn't make them not interesting to me. So this information is interesting. Now Steve's getting mad because I'm talking about 13Fs and there they are.
Not
So
mad. I just think there's a big difference that you should point out. You're here to be entertained by information. We're here to use it to make money.
Tell
I
him,
think that's what
Strazza,
you're
tell
saying.
him. Are
Like,
you not
yeah.
entertained?
This is one of those pieces of insider information where the media and simp traders all look one way at
Simp
the shiny
traders.
object, and
Shout
while
out to-
everybody else is looking at the important stuff.
Shout out to the simp traders, huh?
What did Michael Burry buy this time? Water?
China.
Oh, wow.
He's buying China. All right. How do you guys feel about China? Are we buying more China?
Oh, now who cares about what Michael Burry's buying?
I still
won't
don't care.
talk
I'm
about
asking
that.
if we're buying China.
Okay.
We definitely won't talk about that. I did want to talk about Hot Corner today, though. China, I think, is one green candle away from being 100% ready.
I know. We've been saying that for a week.
Yeah, so be patient. This is the market.
We've been saying that for more than a week. We've been saying it for probably 2 weeks.
Look.
But it is one candle away. You're right.
They're getting knocked around worse than anybody since Trump got elected with this narrative of doubling or tripling tariffs. So it's hard to be, you know, in the middle of a stock market rally when the United States government is saying they're going to double or triple the tariffs on your country's goods. Right? So I think all considered, they're holding in pretty well.
CryptoPunk floor price has doubled since the election.
Only a double?
Only a double?
Didn't Pepe double in the morning?
Well, Pepe is not an NFT. It's just a meme coin. And these are the CryptoPunks are the blue chip, so they're gonna be lower beta.
The blue chips, right?
Yeah, the blue chip NFT is a CryptoPunk. Is that Which one else would be? Bored Apes? No.
We should read what
God forbid.
Colin Farrer says Burry bought China weeks ago and now he's hedging his trades. Probably true. Also, that guy's 13Fs. Have fun reading through those things. It's a lot of derivatives and things are going.
Actually, yeah.
directions. So,
if anyone's 13F is useless, it's Michael Burry.
Off of the 13F and say that somebody's making a market call, that's great. But we don't do that here.
No. I mean, it's good fodder. You just say, "Oh, Warren Buffett bought Domino's last quarter," you know. But no, for the record, I do agree with you.
That's
Everything
notable.
you said.
I saw that.
See, you saw it, right?
China.
The big ones show up in sooner filing, so you understand that, right?
Of course.
And they're significant in terms of size. We have filings that require them to tell us before the quarterly filing.
Of course. And I think that's probably the biggest takeaway here is that if you are looking at these 13Fs to help you, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And that's pretty much what the guys at Steve and the guys in the hot corner have figured out is there is a right way there's a right way and a wrong way to follow these filings. And looking at 13Fs 45 days after the end of the quarter and following those investors, that's the wrong way to do it.
Let me ask you something, Strazza. Of the 13Fs, is there anything that is actually useful, or is it all completely useless? Like anything stand out that we can actually be like, wow, that's interesting, or no?
I have a handful that I review because we are tracking these guys' positions so closely anyway, and we want to see stuff that's smaller.
Like who? Talk to me. Like what? Like
Baker Bros. Baker Bros. I'll look at Buffett's later.
But these are specifically funds and institutions that are not swing trading. If they own these positions, they own these positions.
I'll look at Icon. I'll look at Value Act.
Carl Icahn, really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Why?
the activists who come and stay for a while.
Yeah, all right.
Want to pay attention to them. Even some of the the big value guys, the long short stuff I find interesting. So like Spencer, like for entertainment, well, I look at Cohen and Tepper. Yeah, sure. If there's time. But there's nothing to do there.
And Cohen and Tepper could very well be out of those positions already.
Yeah, totally. That's like Spencer said, it's entertainment value more than anything.
And if anything, sometimes they'll they'll make sure that certain positions are in those filings to get some liquidity to get the hell out.
When I'm looking at theirs, JC, I'm like, oh, this is funny. Steve Cohen had a massive position in Build-A-Bear last quarter, right? I'm not thinking about it as he's long this now.
Right. Nor should you.
Can we hard pivot to solar?
Wait. Hold on a second.
Solar.
Hold on. When Steve says Cohen, he doesn't mean Ryan Cohen. Just to be clear.
I don't mean Ryan Cohen. His
Ryan
are
Cohen?
interesting too, though. His
Who's
are
Ryan
interesting
Cohen?
too. He always the meme stock king. He always takes huge positions, though, Spencer, and he's on these boards or involved as in he's already a labeled insider. So we get Form 4s from Cohen, and at the least a Form 13.
Is this the CEO of GameStop?
Yeah.
Dude,
Didn't he famously say? Didn't he famously 5 years ago put all of his money into Wells Fargo and Apple? I think he did.
I got GameStop calls that expire today. 28 strike. We bought them earlier this week. I went out to next week, the next week, and I got some AMCs in 1220. I'm into the end of the year. I'm here for a meme stock rally. Whenever it comes.
GameStop's up 3% pre-market, so you're in the money.
Let's go, baby.
How much you get them for?
The GameStop ones are wildly expensive, but a cheat code is you hit the AMC and you could go out for $30 to the 1220s, $1 out of the money.
So the cheat code to trade the GME is to buy the AMC.
Listen, it's for if you don't want to put up that kind of capital for the GameStop calls, I think AMC gives you another option. It's not perfect, but
no, I get that. I get that. Throw up that solar chart, please, because this one stands out to me.
Okay,
China, hot piece of garbage, selling off after the election. Solar. What do you guys thinking? Do they got a shot? They got a shot?
I'm long Array Technologies. I'm long First Solar. I got stopped out at Enphase. Can't wait to buy it back. Patrick and I were looking at the Sunrun and the Nova yesterday. You just had to wait for some sort of tradable low. And then
Throw up the Array. Throw up that Array.
I'm in the Array. Calls in common. Let's go, baby. This one looks better than any of them, just from a chart pattern standpoint. You got those lows from several years ago. And then we got a nice little tactical base here. This is great, man. We almost did this one for breakout multiplier. I'm kicking myself that we didn't.
Well, I mean,
I was like, how many trashy stocks are we going to get long here? We're going to do GameStop, AMC, and Array Technologies.
Yeah, but you want to know something? Yeah, but can you group Array in with those other things? Isn't this something else?
No.
What do you mean? It's
you're talking about GameStop and junkie stock. Would you throw solar in that? You don't think solar is just a different category? Granted, junkie, but you don't think it's a different category?
Oh, you mean like it is a real business?
It's junky. It's junky.
No, I don't know about all that, but
it's junky and
do you
it's a
mean?
political trade right now.
Oh.
So
it's political trade because one would think that Trump being president is bad for solar in China, and we're looking to buy solar in China.
it probably is, right? But like these companies have been discounted very well for it.
We got to see it.
But like, look at something like Enphase. Look at the 6 candles coming into, or the 5 candles coming into the past couple of days. Like these stocks have been absolutely killed, thrown out. So
I was a little bit. I was a little busy yesterday, hanging out with Gary Cohn. Strazza.
Yeah, so I was thinking. I heard your comments. You think like how long do you think Ray Dalio waited for you? Think he like waited all night for you?
I mean, honestly, I feel guilty. I think I'm gonna write him a hand note apologizing.
Yeah.
Like a handwritten note.
Uh-huh.
I just had more important things to do. Like I'm not doing any business with Ray Dalio. Like I was just meeting him to meet him, to be a nice guy,
Yeah.
But like, he can't afford me.
No, I didn't think so. I thought he was kind of below your line. That it kind of surprised me.
I feel a little bit guilty though. I'm not gonna lie. I do. You think he's heartbroken that I didn't show?
Yeah, he's still thinking about it.
All right. Well, we'll get him on the show. We'll make up for it. We'll get Dalio on the show.
Has anybody heard from Scottie Pippen? Speaking of actually,
Scottie Pippen is ghosting me. He's ghosting me.
Me too.
He's been all over Twitter.
Do we know Scottie Pippen's people? Does anybody know Scottie Pippen's people?
I think we might. I was with Canelo's agent yesterday. Oh, I got the intel on Canelo. So Canelo's going to go 2 more years. He's going to retire, and then he's going to get $200 million to fight Jake Paul.
Who's Canelo? Oh, Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
I got the scoop. The scoop.
Hold on. We need to talk about what's happening tonight then.
No, we don't.
The Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Is this real? Like, can I gamble on this?
So I'm with Canelo's agent last night, and he's telling me that Paul's going to kick his ass.
You would hope so, dude. I mean, it's embarrassing if he
Tyson's
doesn't.
got a shot in the first or second round to knock him out, and if he doesn't, it's over.
What? He's twice his age.
This is for somebody who knows a lot about boxing. I know nothing. I got nothing.
I can't bet against Tyson. That sucks.
That's not.
What? What are you laughing about?
Dude, I'm betting the farm.
I'm laughing at the chat, actually.
So I was unsure, like, if this was like actually boxing or more like WWE.
No, Tyson needs the money. Tyson's going to walk away with $100 million tonight.
How does he need money?
Each of them are getting $100.
I feel like this guy's always around. His face is on things all the time. How does he still need money? Where does his money go?
I'm a natural born killer. He's a manufactured killer. I'm natural born killer.
Has he been hanging out with Allen Iverson too much?
No, man. Tyson's broke.
They both have their own cannabis brands, for whatever that's worth.
And I'm sure that's doing great.
That's where the money went.
That's where the money went. That's
I'm just a natural born killer.
I would love to see this idiot get knocked out, though. I would love to see that. I don't even know who this guy is, but boy.
All right, should we talk crypto?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, sure.
We got Louis. We got Louis here.
Stocks too before we get out of here today.
Well, we got Louis here, so I figure we should do some of the crypto stuff. You know what I mean?
Bring him out. Bring him.
Got my fingers on the pulse, avocado and toast, leather seats, jet plane, always ready to go.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
What's up, Lou Dog?
Lovely to be talking to you on this Friday morning.
Happy Crypto Friday. Crypto making new all-time highs this week. Spencer says because total crypto market cap hit 3 trillion while he was sleeping, it doesn't count.
Wow, that's an interesting take. Well,
Yeah.
look, JC, every single week you've been asking me when moon. I've got the telescope there. I've been looking at the moon these last few days, and boy, does it look good.
Yeah, man, these are some serious moves. And when I tell people ask me about crypto, obviously, like civilians and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, man, Bitcoin's doing great. What a massive underperformer that Bitcoin is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just quite the underperformer in crypto land. Louis, can you speak to that? Some of the winners that you've seen out there, and it ain't Bitcoin.
These some of the gains that are taking place underneath the market cap scale just ridiculous. There is such significant money being made in the asset class. People are launching coins and they're going from 0 to billions of dollars in the space of a few days. It's ridiculous. and there's real substantial money being made within a lot of these meme coins and a lot of these ICOs that are just coming out. They're just exploding higher, and that's where the opportunity's lying, and that's where I've been leaning on for my trade ideas right now.
And then so Godius Maximus hitting new all-time highs this morning. You see that?
Yep. So we've been writing about that one this week.
Can you tell the folks a little bit about the story? So this is an AI that Mark Andreessen has been talking to. Like, can you tell us a little bit about what's happening here? Because this is real.
Well, what I can say is that there's a lot of what we like to do is we like to track a lot of the smart money activity on chain. So looking at what the best and smartest wallets are buying. So this note, this week we put out a note talking about a lot of these coins, and Goat was on this list, and a lot of wallets with a really good track record on chain are actually have exposure to this name. And so that just adds further conviction when you look at a name that's actually breaking out, but then it's also got a lot of that added tailwind of having that exposure from smart money wallets. I love that. And so this is the market environment, JC, where you want to be making those aggressive bets, and you're seeing that play out quite nicely.
And then what do you say to people that are like, oh my God, here we go again. This is 2021 all over again. This is 2022 all over again. Is there evidence that this is like one of those bubble times, before an epic collapse? Or do you think things are just getting going? How do you quantify that? What are you thinking?
It's hilarious that people think that, but Bitcoin has literally gone nowhere
Yeah.
in years, and it's only just breaking out now. And then people go, "Oh, it's a bubble. It's unsustainable." JC, I think the people that are saying that are just people that are sidelined and they're a little bit jealous about some of the gains that are happening, and so they're just angry and projecting their anger onto other people and saying, "Man, this is a bubble." I think it's absolute nonsense. Bitcoin has literally gone nowhere for years, and only now just breaking higher. Sure, in the short term, it's a little bit extended, right? It's literally just gone vertical, so maybe some sort of pullback or correction you could be thinking is on the cards here in the short term. But look, long term, this thing looks fantastic.
Can you throw up slide 2 there, Spencer, please? So this is the one that's on my radar. We'll go down and we'll look at a few of these others. So this is Godius Maximus. So this is the GOAT hitting new all-time highs today. Now 73 on the ranking. So 73rd largest token, $1.1 billion in market capitalization. Andreessen's been all over it, right? He was kind of the one that sparked this originally, but there's so many of these every single day. And today's Crypto Friday, so obviously we're focusing on this a little bit more. But even if it was just a random Tuesday, we would be talking about this,
Yeah, precisely. And I was making a bit of a joke amongst myself because it's a Friday night, right? And it was 10 o'clock, and I was looking at Fartcoin, and I was just like, "What am I doing with my life?" It's 10 o'clock on a Friday
Why
night,
don't
and
you
here I am
show the
looking
fart
at
coin?
Fartcoin. Going from $25 million in market cap to $250 million in market cap just over the last few days. You can point a joke at this and go, "Oh my God, Louis, what the hell are you showing me? Fartcoin, what are you on right now?" But look, we're only here for one purpose, right? And that's to make money. And I don't really give a shit about whether this thing has an offensive name, whether it's a scam. In fact, the more offensive the name, the more like a scam it is. Like, that's fantastic. I love that because you get these massive moves, and it's not like you need to give up those profits because it's an offensive name, or people are offended, or it's some sort of scam. And so there's just so much money being made down the cap scale, and this is just a clear example of the money that's being made right now.
Yeah, so Fartcoin now 290 million in market cap, ranking 232. But this is the Mood Dang is the one that's got my attention. Talk to me about the Mood Dang. Talk about smart money. So, guys, if you're listening out there and you're wondering why are we talking about this, what is the smart money? You see, because of the blockchain technology, we have full transparency as to what every single wallet out there is doing. So this morning we were making fun of the 13 Fs because these institutions have to file 13 Fs with the SEC, breaking down their holdings. But this data is from 45 days ago or more in most cases, actually. So it's so stale on chain. You have this data in real time. So where the smart money is going, where the smart money is leaving from. certain coins that have no smart money at all, which tends to happen before rug pulls if there's no smart money at all, right? So Mudeng, a latest example of smart money coming in hard, and sure enough, they knew something.
Yeah, talked about this one yesterday or 2 days ago, I believe, and I mean it's up 50% today. This chart is absolutely wonderful. Over $1 million of smart money buying just over the last 24 hours on this one. And then you go into those individual wallets, those wallets that are buying this token, and you have a look at their track record. Like, okay, are these guys actually worth following into a trade? And because all this data, right, on the blockchain is transparent, you can have a look at their track record of their wallet. And these portfolios, JC, are just going like that, and it's just going up to the right, all of them, because they know that whether they have some sort of information, whether they're just gurus and they just know these things. And this is a token that was getting a lot of buying over the last week. So I particularly liked it as it was breaking out of this base. And look, these are the sort of charts and setups that you want to be leaning on right now. A new coin that's just got a lot of momentum, and you just pile on along with the smart money, and it's working out right now.
One hole's asking some good questions, like which wallets, like whose wallets are you looking at? In most of these cases, we don't know whose wallet it is.
Mhm.
We just know that they are very good at what they do because their track record speaks for itself. It's transparent. It could be Stephen Cohen. It could be Johnny Nobody, in his mommy's basement, and he's just the man. Like, we don't know. In some cases, we know who it is because they're transparent with, hey, this is us. But in almost every other case, we have no idea who owns these wallets, but who cares, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think another point that was really interesting that we were talking about earlier this week is just, look, these things have gone vertical, right? The Bitcoin's gone vertical over the last few weeks, and so are we going to get some sort of pullback here? Are we going to see some volatility in the other direction? Because I think that's also something to be mindful of, right? Is we're getting a lot of these significant gains, but then at the same time, it's, well, what happens on the inevitable pullback? Do they just come in and buy these things straight away, or does it churn and consolidate just sideways? And what happens there? And so it's going to be really interesting when the next selling pressure does come in, how fast they buy these things back. And I think it's going to have a lot of information and implications over the last or over the next few months, depending on how quickly they're buying these things back on the next pullback that comes there. Because volatility acts in both ways, and when it's the market's going straight up in a line higher like it has been, you know, when the market consolidates, it tends to also consolidate vertically in the opposite direction, and so it'll be really interesting to see how quick they buy these things back.
What else stands out? Can we talk about the Bitcoin dominance is really just a reflection of Ethereum's underperformance? Like, why is that getting completely lost? Like, why is like, oh my God, Bitcoin dominance? It's literally just Ethereum underperforming, is it not?
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't familiar, Bitcoin dominance is simply just the percentage of the total crypto market cap that Bitcoin represents. And so Bitcoin dominance has been going higher, which means that Bitcoin's share of the total crypto market cap is going higher. And what a lot of people will look at that ratio and make the incorrect conclusion is that, okay, if Bitcoin is going higher and trending higher relative to the rest of the total crypto market cap, it means that Bitcoin is essentially outperforming all the other cryptos. But what they're not including is that Bitcoin and Ethereum make up a significant portion of the crypto market cap. And so that Bitcoin dominance is merely just a reflection of the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. And so Ethereum clearly outperforming. It had some sort of little spike there, but it's given up all its gains in that ratio. And so Ethereum is still one that I'm underweight in my portfolio. And so it's, until that trend can reverse course, then you're going to see Bitcoin dominance continuing to climb. And that isn't necessarily indicative of underperformance from the altcoins.
And then of the big ones, is Solana just is Solana just it? we were talking about Strazza's like, oh, when is Solana going to flip Ethereum? It's got to go up 4x just to get there. But like of the big ones, of the blue chips, Solana's it.
Yeah. I mean, it is at the moment, right? I mean, breaking out of a lovely base relative to Bitcoin, relative to ETH. And so we were talking in our internal analyst meeting earlier this week, and am I being outlandish to suggest that Solana hits 1,000 by the end of the cycle?
No. In fact, Strazza has an even higher target than that. Strazza has like an outlandish, not outlandish. I mean, it's a measured move based on prior moves. So, I mean, we've seen it before, but Strazza's Solana, right? Strazza, where you at? Strazza's Solana target is pretty,
Well,
it's
I
pretty
mean,
heavy
he
duty.
is the chief YOLO officer after all.
We heard a crazy target the other day for Bitcoin, 180 or
I
something.
know, but other people say crazy things. Like we are normal here. So Strazza has the right to have, a pretty crazy target because that's not how we roll. So it is what it is. I have a $5 trillion target in Tesla. People think I'm nuts. I don't think that's nuts. Strazza, talk to me about Solana. What are you thinking here?
I think you could project its performance from the last cycle onto this cycle. And when
Which
you
takes
do,
it
you
to
get a
where?
price target. I forget. It's in the thousands. But when you do, you get a price
It doesn't
target.
matter. It's so high.
But that's really the bigger point about this, right? For these kinds of trades, your price target is higher and your time frame is longer. To go in with any sort of plan, oh, it's going to go to 1,000, it's going to go to 2,000, 200,000. Good luck. Good luck. Kind of have to assess as you go.
What about what about this Bitwise?
Yeah, it's possible, Rachel.
This Bitwise ETP. You see this? So it's not an ETF, it's an ETP. What is that? A European ETF?
It just means exchange traded product. It doesn't mean it's not an ETF.
Got it.
And it's like an ETF.
It's like 70-something percent Bitcoin. Solana's the third largest.
But it's futures.
I don't think so because it's got 10. It's got 10 cryptocurrencies. So it can't be
What
futures.
is the ticker? It's got to be futures because
it's got to be futures because they can't have a spot ETF
Not
or
allowed.
other cryptos.
What's the ticker?
But there's no futures on the top 10. That's too many. I don't think it's futures. It's 10 tokens that are in the ETP. Why are you guys looking at me like I'm crazy?
Is this a European thing?
Can I just have a ticker?
I don't know what the ticker is. I think it's European.
Oh, Europe's got crazy rules.
And that makes sense. Wait, real fast. We do have Kenny here, so I wanna bring him on.
Stick around, Louis. Stick around.
Oh, I can bring him on right now.
Yeah, bring him on.
Okay, fine.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hold up. Yeah.
Ooh, Kenny Glick in the house. What's up, man? Look at this guy.
Bro, are you getting involved in all these meme coins right now? I feel like this is like your perfect market right now.
Ready in the intro, cue up the searchlight, promise to the center stage. I grab the first, projecting the voice with this mic that I'm cuffing. You ain't my knuckle, sucker, I'm snuffing. The word of the third stands true, so no panicking. Man versus man, you freeze up like a mannequin.
Dude, I love how Kenny brings music that Louis wasn't born to listen.
I was about to say this is before my time.
This is before your
35th
time.
anniversary of the Cactus album.
This is when music was music, Louis.
35th anniversary. That's how old I am of rap albums. 35th anniversary.
I love it. Hey, I can get down with some 90s rap. That's probably the furthest back I go.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, get right into it. Hope you guys are crushing Alibaba right now. That's all I want to tell you. They gapped it up. Things getting rolling over. And we just got the 1 minute through the multi-day. So what's going on? What are you guys doing for the weekend?
Hold on. Stick on that. So you're still fading that? You think that continues to fall?
Well, right now, I had to I took a little bit short, and then I got a little bit aggressive at the worst possible time. I sold out. I covered, but now I'm, right now I'm just basically working through it. So it's trying to stay red. Anything above 92, you got to bail. But I'm hoping for a pop and a drop and a roll. So, Yeah, I mean, that's generally the anatomy of the trade. You know, if it gaps up on earnings and it breaks VWAP, that's your first moment to short something. And then if it tested from underneath, which you see, again, I know you guys don't see my charts, but around 8:15, it tried to break back over and rolled over to prior day VWAP. So that's it.
Let me
I
just
got
tell you something, Kenny. Can I tell you something?
Yeah,
People are loving the Andy Dufresne, like
yeah,
freaking out. People are like, dude, this is the greatest pattern ever. I'm like, it kind of is.
yeah. Well,
And there's Andy Dufresne's everywhere all over the market.
there is. We spoke a lot about it, but really importantly is that you got to know when to fold them too. I mean, that lunar trade yesterday was ridiculous. I
Yeah.
mean, it was powering higher, powering higher, powering higher in the pre-market, breaking to the point where you got to the 3-year, that 2-year high from 15 and change. You know, once in a while, it'd be nice if I got a stock where it pulled back, held resistance, and then didn't collapse 50%. But when you're on the other side of a reversal, you got to lose all affinity, all whatever love affair you were having with Lunar for the last 72 hours. It was over yesterday.
It's
You know,
over.
once it broke, once it became a trade that never fails, and you're on the wrong side of it, you got to get the hell out. So I know it was an enormously crazy move. It went from breaking out to getting halted to the downside, and I got to start thinking that this is a pump and dump. You know, again, it was pumped and dumped. That's as classic as it gets.
And I'm glad you bring that up because people are often get upset over pump and dumps. And I'm here to say that I love them.
Yeah, so do I.
Whether it's a pump and dump or not, I'm not smart enough to know or sophisticated enough to know. I'm also not the SEC, so I don't give a shit whether you're breaking the rules or not.
Yeah.
I'm only here to make money, and pump and dumps are a great opportunity to make money.
Yeah, and it was easily shorted yesterday. I mean, it's sometimes they're hard to borrow. You can't get a short off. And that's why I was explaining with you guys in the pre-market. You want to short the stock, especially if you had some $13 calls or let alone the $10 calls that you had from $1. The stock's at 15 pre-market. You short the stock and then you exercise your calls, and it's nice. It's a nice wash, or at least short the stock just to protect yourself. I mean, the stock was up huge pre-market and rolled over. So in the same idea, that the Alibaba trade, you come in, you see it's gapped up, it breaks VWAP, that's where you're short. But I got another little one for you. This one from yesterday, Qubit, QUBT. I think it was along the same lines as, hey, this is a cool name of a company. Everything's ripping. Let's buy this. Quantum Computing Incorporated. You can't get better.
From New Jersey, what could go wrong?
Yeah, hey, I don't. This right after if you saw what Ion Q just did over the last couple of weeks, out of the Andy Dufresne at $9, the thing went to 28. People are just looking for that pin action right now. So
hold on. So this is a company. This is a half a billion dollar company. A little bit under that. Not anymore. It's down 32% this morning.
Yeah.
Headquartered in Hoboken, New Jersey.
Is it really? Oh my God.
Hoboken, New Jersey.
That could be his worst.
The only company I've ever known, like a big company, not like a restaurant or a deli, in Hoboken, New Jersey, was Wiley, and they suck.
Oh,
What
I
a
have
terrible
no
company.
idea. I have no idea, but this one they have options that expire today, 250s and 2s. They might create the 3. So
stock's down 30-something% this morning. So what are you thinking here? It gets above the VWAP, little Andy Dufresne action, and you buy it?
Yeah, I'm looking at that. 311, as a matter of fact, right now is the VWAP, but more importantly, it hit basically the price was 326. Above 326, you can get jiggy back up to 350, and that'll trigger some buyers, especially if they create a $3 or $3.50 call. And by the way, it's option expiration, so these will expire today. The November 15th Qubits, QBIT. It might be interesting, or just crush it. Same thing with Lunar. If this thing doesn't bounce today, it's going back to $8. So now you've got some, if you want to get some revenge on Lunar, today's the day. Chances are it's not going to sit around between 10 and 10.50. Hopefully not. And you got, half point option increments on this one. So definitely looking at that. But more importantly, the market. We're seeing some sellers. We talked about this on the schmooze yesterday. We are right to the point where I thought we could sell off to. So if we break right now, 403.78, which is the pre-market lows, we could be looking at 500 on the Qs today. But really important to watch UVXY. If UVXY stays above 20 and a half, let alone 21, we're going to actually have a real sell-off that lasts more than 7 minutes. So keep an eye on AMAT, kids. If AMAT doesn't bounce, this market's not bouncing, and AMAT's still getting smoked in the pre-market. So AMAT, the bellwether of the chip stocks. If the chips don't cooperate today, the Qs aren't going to cooperate. And there's your list. So some chips, some space stocks, and don't forget ASTS. They also reported, and the stock got slammed. So I'm looking at that one also as a possible buy, but I'd rather see it at 22.50.
That rotation out of semiconductors and into software really stands out.
Oh, wait. Somebody asked about the GREE. Yep, GREE from last night. Monstrous move. It is battling for its life right now. I'd rather be long than short, but again, this is notoriously a pump and dump as well. But anything with GREE, anything under 350, you shouldn't be long the stock. But right now, it's trying. It's trying to go. So above 425, you might be looking at $5. GREE was crazy, but yeah, I mean, we got plenty to watch. Just be careful out there, and don't forget, get yourself some third base in your life. If you don't know this song, we can't be friends.
Don't pump, there's no stand. Or I'll play the 5. You don't stop moving until the search says so to keep the drive open. Shooting out the
I'll
plan.
see you.
And just like
All
that.
right. All right.
he's
That
gone.
was fun.
By the way, Kenny's doing this thing tomorrow. Is that official?
Oh shit! I gotta drop the link. Yeah, I'll drop the link in the chat in a second. I was getting the link for Louis as well. So yes, I will drop the link.
Kenny's having a private coaching lesson. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, 2 hours tomorrow. Kenny's going live. Talk about basically just what he does. You know, during the day, he's educating, but he's also trading, right? So and that's the appeal. But when the market's not open, you can do a little bit more education, do a little more Q&A. And so that's what tomorrow's going to be about. So I'll drop the link in the chat for a second. If Louis is still here, I wanted to drop the link to get for members of AAC Crypto. Well, it'll be in the members area, so you know where to go. But if those of you who are not members of AAC Crypto, doing a video this afternoon. We've gotten a lot of questions in the last week and a half about how to buy meme coins, right? Because we've been talking about them, and they're not always.
Press the button next to the sell button. There's a sell and there's a buy. You press the buy.
Hardy har. No, it's true though. I mean, there's a lot of different platforms out there and different networks and different apps, and it is tricky. They're not all available in certain areas, and you can't buy certain things on certain networks and certain exchanges. And so I sympathize. I went on my own journey the other day, and it was not so easy for me. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat. If you are not in AAC Crypto, this is a link for you to get the video that we're doing today at 3:00. And if you are in AAC Crypto, it's in the members area. You'll get an email about it as well. But we've got a lot of questions about this. So drop the link in the chat right now.
Can we talk about this? So what are we looking at? We are looking at on November the 15th, Bitwise announced that the New York Stock Exchange filed a 19B4 form. I don't know what that is, to list the Bitwise 10 crypto index fund, ticker symbol BITW. The fund has 10 different allocations, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Ripple, Cardano, Avalanche, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, Uniswap, and Polkadot.
So how does that work?
Bitcoin's going to be 75%, 16.5% Ether, 4% Solana, 1.6% Ripple, and all the rest account for less than 1%.
The way I'm reading this is not approved.
They filed a 19B4 form, which you know much more about these forms than I do. Do you want to school us on what the hell that is?
I don't know what that is, but
wow, even Strazza doesn't know what that is. That's like a unicorn filing.
I'm not a fun person, but the way it reads is that they're asking for permission. They don't
do you think this gets approved? I do.
I think a lot of things get approved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As somebody who knows nothing, I think it gets approved.
But I think you got to wait a couple months. I don't think it's going to get approved right now. People need to leave first.
And do we even care about this? Is anybody going to trade this shit? Probably not. 75% Bitcoin. So how does this help us?
Here's what I will say. At this point, no one should own spot Bitcoin on Coinbase. Let me tell you why.
Tell me why.
That's a controversial point of view.
That is a very controversial point from our chief YOLO officer. Please tell me more.
Not among intelligent people, though, right?
Okay.
Because why would you want your money on one of these exchanges, even Coinbase, which is FDIC insured, right? And it's probably fine. and they're doing everything right, and they're filing focus reports and putting out net capital computations, just like any of the big banks or financial institutions. However, wouldn't you rather deal with Schwab and BlackRock? No? Would you rather deal with Schwab and BlackRock or Coinbase and who the hell knows? For me, it's pretty easy. That's reason number one. No brainer. And guess what? There's more liquidity. Now, instead of picking one exchange to trade on, Eric Balchunas was on yesterday talking about all the volume and the AUM that's in IBIT now. You're not going to get a more liquid market for Bitcoin. Reason number two, most people who own Bitcoin plan on it going a lot higher. And their time frame is longer than a year, right? It's not just a long-term capital gain situation. Put it in your Roth IRA, let it go to $1 million, and don't pay $1 of tax on those capital gains one day. Why wouldn't you do it that way? Is there any good reason not to do it the way I just described?
I think you could do both depending on, I don't think it's one or the other. I think depending on the accounts and depending on the situation.
So if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, how much tax do you think you're going to pay on that if you own it in Coinbase?
A lot.
Okay. If Bitcoin goes to $1 million and you have in your Roth IRA, how much tax are you going to pay on that?
Right, but you're capped on how much money you can have on a Roth IRA, and most people make too much money to have a Roth IRA. No? How much?
Everybody could use a Roth. What are you talking about?
No, but isn't there a cap on how much you can you make a certain amount?
No, I think there's just a contribution limit, but everybody can contribute up to the limit.
Okay, and then what about the rest of the money? You can't put it in there. You have to go by spot or figure out another tax deferred vehicle.
Put in your traditional IRA next.
Right. Yeah, but again, those dollars are capped.
Then I would do it to the max and then think about doing something else, because a lot of people won't even get to the max.
Yeah, well, not everybody's the chief YOLO officer.
Well, that's the move. So you're welcome, everybody. That's the cheat code.
Okay, so the answer to this new ETP thing is that it's completely useless and doesn't help us at all. I like it though, because it's opening up, the floodgates for more of this. Perhaps a fund that isn't just 75% Bitcoin with a little bit of ETH and then nothing of the rest. Like, that's just stupid. But if doesn't that open up the door for less stupid versions of this?
I mean, Straz, you follow politics and more of these things than I do. But with the SEC chair getting booted out, are these products just going to be coming out left, right, and center?
Are they what? I'm having trouble hearing.
Are these new ETF products going to be launched left, right, and center now that the SEC chair is going to get the boot?
Yeah, but he's still there, right? So you got to wait a little bit.
Didn't Gensler get fired last night?
What?
Didn't Gensler get fired last night?
Can he fire him already?
Yeah, I think he fired him last night.
No, I think Gensler was just getting prepared.
No, he didn't get fired last night.
No. He didn't get. Are you sure?
No, dude. He should be prepared to be fired.
Yeah,
he knows he's fired, but
yes,
he can't fire anybody yet.
Yes,
not the president
that's
yet.
Correct.
Guys.
Gotta
wait till
SEC
inauguration.
Gensler, I've been proud to serve with my colleagues at the SEC.
Yeah, because he knows he's getting fired. But
but he hasn't officially gotten fired yet.
Correct.
Didn't I see that 15 states in America are suing him for being an asshole?
Yeah, he stinks. And you know who?
Seriously, it's like 15 states are suing him.
This is Preet Bharara all over again. You remember the whole big freaking deal? Look at me, Preet Bharara, walking out of my office when Trump took office, 8 years ago? This is going to be the same thing, but with Gensler. These guys think they're famous for a day when they get fired.
And so when Gensler does get booted out, there's going to be ETFs. It's banana season with ETFs.
Yeah, it's going to wild west for crypto.
Can I just tell you guys something? So last night I was with the Rex Shares guys, and we were just bullshitting about ETFs. They have a double leveraged MicroStrategies ETF that has $1.8 billion in assets.
Wow.
It's stupid, man. That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
Stupid. These guys, and good for them. They're my friends. I hope they make all the money in the world. $1.8 billion under management in an ETF that goes double leveraged MicroStrategies.
Which is a double leveraged bet on Bitcoin.
JC, when
$1.8 billion. Do you guys understand how much money that is? That's like the value of I mean, pick your meme coin. They're all about 1.5, 2 billion.
It kind of makes me sad that these funds get that big, because that just tells me that people have no interest in learning how to use derivatives. This is for people who don't
that's part of
understand
it.
how to use derivatives, and that's it. And it's crazy that it's that big of a market.
1.8 billion. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot bigger than I was expecting.
And then I'm talking to Scott. He's like, "Yeah, isn't it great?"
MicroStrategy has a very liquid options market, so that's absolutely mind blowing.
1.8 billion.
I don't know.
That's almost a mid cap stock.
It's going to zero one day too.
But you know what? What a great country we live in, that you could just come up with an idea, be like, listen, there's definitely plenty of idiots that'll buy this dumb thing. Let's create it for them. Boom. Think about what's the carry on that. How much do you think they're making? They're making 100 basis points?
Nvidia's got 6 billion in theirs, apparently. Josh is saying in the chat. I mean, that's crazy.
Good for them.
America, baby, America.
Dude, good for them. I mean, listen, it was like sushi last night. I mean, the whole thing, cocktails, so they're making money. It was a bull market party. Gambling with Jason Worth. He's betting the second half of the Eagles game. Fantastic.
Implied vol is a little preventative. What do you think about the slippage that you're getting in one of these inverse triple leveraged funds?
Do you think that somebody buying this cares about your slippage, bro?
Oh, God. No,
Come
they
on.
don't understand. They don't understand a lot if they're buying it in the first place.
It is 1.8 billion. That is unbelievable.
Okay.
Louis, we got Louis here. Louis, talk to me about we talked about Fartcoin, classic. Talked about the Moodang. The Moodang has been seeing the smart money flow, but has the Fartcoin been seeing that same flow, or you just brought it in?
Strazza's face, he looks very amused right now.
Strazza's just pissed that he's not long the Fartcoin.
We have rules over here.
Yeah.
Well, I
Your
want
rules
to
are
ask you guys
stupid.
a
We already
question
talked
about
about
this.
that.
So I've been thinking about this, right? So these meme coins, how do we project price targets onto them, right? Because we draw a fib, they hit these fib within a few hours, right? So how about instead of price-based targets, we just have market cap-based targets?
I mean, what?
Yay or nay? Like, what? Okay, well, in the stock market, right? We got the 2 to 100 list. Why not for the meme coin universe? We have the 100 to 1 billion list.
Yeah, especially with one of these that have so many integers after the decimal point, like it's like, you know what I mean? Like the market capitalization makes a lot more sense to me. I think that when you talk about the prices, Louis, just in general, include the market cap in the conversation. I think the answer is both.
Yeah. I see you're finding this conversation quite amusing there, Strazza.
Chat, mostly the chat. You guys are funny.
What are they saying in the chat?
One hold just nailed it. Think
Who
about
would
what we
invest
just
in
did.
this dumb asset? Anyways, let's talk about one hole. One of us. One of us. See, one hole gets us. See, not everybody gets our humor, right?
We're going to be looking back on this moment. It's like, okay, shit, that was the top.
I see what you did there.
Not until we're talking about holding conferences in the metaverse again, Louis. There's still time. There's still time.
Dude, can we just talk about the best comparisons are the fact that in the last cycle they were buying real estate in the metaverse for more money than an apartment in New York City, which is crazy. And to Louis' point, Bitcoin's been flat for 3 years. Like that's not bubble.
No, we're going to crypto conferences next year. I can't wait. Miami's going to be so lit. JC and I literally, I'm not joking when I say this. We used to have conversations about what location was better for buying property in the metaverse. These are real discussions that we had.
I wanted to buy property next to Snoop's property, but it was too expensive. So I own real estate like out in the middle of nowhere. Like we were like, how do we live in New York City? I own real estate in Kansas. My real estate in the metaverse is not doing very well at all.
So I think all these things considered, there's still time. It's still early, actually.
I think so too. I think so too. Louis, can we talk about sentiment? So we got the COT coming out later today. My suspicion is commercial hedgers are still incredibly long Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Or don't overthink the COT here.
How great is it that we can still be talking about Fartcoin, but then say that sentiment isn't stretched? Like, how good is that?
Well,
And
Fartcoin just
so,
broke out, to be fair. It's not like
yeah,
it's
and
like this
so
parabolic.
you're clearly seeing, a little bit of excitement there and sentiment, but it's not like full market extremes, right? And again, we literally just broke out, and so if you're pointing to sentiment and going, "Well, okay, this is indicative of a top," it's like, well, I call bullshit a little bit. And so you are seeing a little bit of bullishness, but it's really not extreme to the point where you want to be going, "Hey, look, this is the top. This is the end of the cycle. Let's call it here, boys."
Strazza, are you getting any phone calls or messages from normies?
Yes. I got a phone call from someone I haven't heard from in years yesterday about crypto.
I've not got a single message
Crypto
this cycle.
specifically.
Yeah, apparently he remembers me as his crypto guy. And his landlord was over, so I was on speakerphone explaining crypto.
Oh. Do you
He was
take
telling
a
me-
deep breath, like a sigh, like Michael Saylor, like whenever he's
Yeah.
asked about Bitcoin, he goes,
And the man told me that he just bought $120,000 worth of Dogecoin at 30. I said, all right.
all right. Best of luck to you. I hope you have a stop loss.
You see,
That was-
the thing in New Zealand is that like nobody is familiar with crypto. Like New Zealand is a country of 5 million normies. And so nobody really talks about crypto. Nobody knows what it does. It's like New Zealand got to the 1970s and was like, yeah, this is enough progress for us. We're just gonna stop there. And so it's kind of great where I don't actually get inundated with any messages. And so the one time or the times that I do get a message about crypto, it's like, okay, things must be really extreme if my New Zealand community is messaging me about crypto.
Yeah. New Zealand's basically the metaverse. Like you live in the metaverse.
Dude, did
Yeah,
you guys
pretty
know
much.
that the bushwhackers were from New Zealand?
We keep talking about this, so
I had no idea. I find that to be
I'm
so
gonna be honest, I don't know
fascinating.
what the bushwhackers.
You don't know the bushwhacker? They make the ugly face.
Okay. Great.
No? Anybody? The bushwhackers? Nothing? All right. I do a great bushwhacker impression. No?
You do.
Market's open.
And they're off. All right, Louis, that's your turn. We're going back to TradFi now. So
Goodbye.
you're no longer necessary.
Later, fellas.
Have a good
Adios.
weekend, buddy. All right. What's the trade here, JC? Are they running these solar stocks again today?
I had a normie reach out about energy.
Dude,
of all
GameStop.
things, not crypto. I got normies reaching out about energy. How do you feel about that?
I like that though. I like that. I think there's something there. I'm so tired of energy stocks and trying to take a shot on energy stocks. I'm dipping back in.
And by energy, you mean oil and gas?
Yeah, the traditional stuff. I think the multinationals, I don't think you have to get too cute right now. Look at Exxon. Look at Chevron. Chevron, great 2 days.
Throw up slide two, please, there, Mr. Spencer
Conoco.
Israel.
I think you stick with the big boys for now. I mean, others do look great. Like this Magnolia looks fantastic. MGY. Dude, all I care about today is if GameStop moons or not. Okay, look, can I just be honest about what I'm thinking about today? I just want
Why are you just changing the subject? We're talking about Exxon hitting new 6-month
I
highs,
can't
and you're
think-
back
I
to the
can't think
fucking
straight.
memes.
when GameStop's trading at the money, and I got 6 hours to expiration here.
Any thoughts on this SMCI? I meant to bring this up. We have not been short or long, just kind of been watching this disaster. They're getting delisted because they're a fraud. Is that the stitch?
It was bad. It got worse. Yeah. See ya.
Like they're just a complete fraud, so that's it? Delisted?
When you see a top like this, like we had this summer in Super Micro, and we talked all about it then when the stock was at $60, $70, said, wow, this is a top. That's weird. This is supposed to be a market leader. You just run from it, right? You sell it and you ask questions later because you could have saved yourself. If you sold this top when it completed, it's fallen 75% since. So there's just no reason to be around for that when the trend shifts.
It could be delisted. They didn't say they're getting delisted. They just said
Well, they didn't file their earnings, so
this is true. They did not file their earnings.
breaking rules.
Um,
And can we just talk about this is a great example of how great fraud is, right? this was one of the best winners like ever. Complete fraud, complete pump and dump. It's going to zero. There's people going to jail. That's not our problem.
Isn't this like Jensen Huang's cousin or something?
Dude, the great example of how great a fraud is. There's so much money to be made in frauds.
Yeah.
You're seeing it. If it ends up being a fraud, it's not your problem.
Yeah.
There's other bag holders. That's their problem. People are going to jail. Again, not our problem. That's their problem. There was a lot of money to be made. Things go up, things go down. You're going to see it again. Just because something's a fraud doesn't mean that you can't make money on it. Quite the opposite. Money's made a lot faster and quicker in fraud.
Did you hear Jerry Parker yesterday, JC? I had no idea. I never knew his background. Started his career as a Big Four auditor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Does that make you like him more? Because you did.
Well, no,
too?
there's something there. It's not just me and Jerry Parker. There's a lot of us out here who have a similar story. So I thought that was really interesting.
And then what advantage? I mean, other than being like, you have certain skills that I don't, which I appreciate. But like generally, what do you think the biggest advantages are to that background?
I think the biggest advantage is you can cross off fundamental analysis as a valid technique early on in your career, and then that puts you on a search for something else. That's how it happened to me.
So you quickly realize how dumb fundamental analysis is, and you just move on to something else faster than it takes other people to realize it?
When you're in an audit room, right, and you're the one responsible for the accuracy and the correctness of these numbers, right, and then you see everybody else running DCF models on the sell side writing about all these numbers like they're gospel, right, like they're actually real or true, you realize right away this is not the way, and then you got to look for something else. And I think that puts people, if you could see it that early on in your career, you're 23 years old, say, okay, big no to fundamental analysis. Where else are you going to go? You go to technicals and you learn that. And then you start like, a new journey, learning a new discipline really early on. And I think that's what happened to Jerry.
It's a bummer he didn't have his bird on his shoulder.
We asked about that. That was the first thing we asked about.
He doesn't travel with the birds.
Yeah.
No, bird stays in Florida.
Bird stays in Florida. That's smart.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
So I'm starting a little recess a little earlier, but I do want to ask you guys, because I think this is really interesting. So
wait a minute.
We are we're buying fractions of racehorses.
I'm down.
So,
I told you.
Yeah. So there's like so we're gonna get about 10 to 12 horses, about $250,000 a pop, between 150 and 300,000. Jason Worth, his horse just won the Belmont.
Yeah.
And he was telling the story because they were in the Kentucky Derby and they were in the one lane, and that's just a death sentence. And he was all bummed out after they lost. They got smoked in the Derby.
Yeah, but
and then the jockey, he went after Jason, went over to just kind of talk to the horse and the jockey, and he was all bummed out. And the jockey's like, Bobby, we're going to win the Belmont, Bobby. We're going to win the Belmont. And then Jason goes back to his family. He's like, we're going to win the Belmont. And they won the Belmont. It's so exciting.
So all-star racing, this is one of the most crooked sports out there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane how dirty of a business this is. But basically, you get one winning horse and you're done, dude. You just start... Basically, you just make babies, and they're very expensive babies. You could like retire the horse.
Dude,
he's a winner.
you know how much it is?
You sell his babies. Yeah.
$40,000 a shot.
Nuts, dude. Yep.
And they're mating with about 150, 200 horses.
There is
number
no
one. Number two, it's if you are sensitive, you can leave now, but the way that the horses mate is they literally rape the horses. They set them up.
God.
No, it's crazy. There's no semen.
Horses.
There's no semen more valuable than horse semen.
$40,000 a shot. Yeah. $40,000 a shot, pun intended, and 150 to 200 horses. Isn't that wild? And they literally put them up, like they actually go through the motions, like, whether the female is interested in it or not.
Yes, Dawson.
$40,000 a shot.
That's correct. That's correct, Dawson.
Isn't that crazy?
All-star racing, baby.
So anyway, we'll get like 10 or 12 horses. 2 or 3 will never race. 2 or 3 will be shitty runners.
You get a bunch of duds. Yeah.
And got a bunch of duds, and we're shooting for one.
Yeah, it's a moonshot business.
Yeah. So
but you get one, dude. You get one, and you're done. Like you're set.
But you know what's cool? As being an LP in the fund, we have complete access to the owners' boxes for all the races. So Kentucky Derby, we're in there. Belmont, we're in there. Saratoga, we're in there. Santa Anita in California.
Yeah. So my uncle had a horse that was called the Dauntless Bunny. Shout out Dauntless Bunny. It was a big winner. We used to go watch it at the Meadowlands. It was a thoroughbred. But it was that kind of situation where it was like all about the Dauntless Bunny and then the Dauntless Bunny's babies. But good stuff. And it's a lot of fun too, going to the races.
Yeah. No, it's cool. And so there's no management fee. They take 15% of the profits, and it's only like a 3-4 year thing because you're getting 23-year-old, the horse is born in 23. They'll race in 25, they'll race in 26, and then they'll be 4 years old in 27. And you know how much it costs to insure a 4-year-old horse?
A lot.
No.
Guess.
I wouldn't even know.
Wild guess. How much does it cost to insure a 4-year-old horse?
Probably more than a house.
$100,000 a year. No idea.
$1 million a year.
Stop. No, that can't be right.
$1 million to insure a 4-year-old horse.
If he's good.
Well, if he's not, then there's no conversation to have.
There's nothing new.
So they don't run the 4-year-olds because it's too expensive.
If he has a chance at winning, the insurance policies can get that crazy, is what you're saying.
The biggest purses are $1 million. So you win, you break even.
But he's got to be in the game for an insurance policy.
It's just not worth it. It's
That's
just
nuts.
not worth it. It's fascinating.
It makes sense. But JC, stuff like this makes sense to sell fractional shares because this is the kind of business where people get like a consortium of investors and they pool their money. So fractional shares for horses, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. So it's $4 million deal, 40 units, $100,000 a unit.
I'm just still thinking about Mike Tyson though. I hope he's okay tonight.
I mean, dude, he's Iron Mike.
Like you see his body, it's just like shapes. Now it doesn't.
It is kind of shaped.
I don't know what's going on there. If he's pregnant or
dude, the best is in one of those roasts. Amy Schumer was like, "Dude, you have a tramp stamp on your face."
Oh, he's the best.
Steve, you want to talk about the hot corner? I know you've been waiting for a couple days.
Yeah,
Jason's gonna love this take.
All right, give it to me.
Bonds, you know what to do.
What? Am I bumping up this?
So hot right now.
Busy hot corner.
Look at this. Look at this.
So I just got information here. I'm just gonna read this out loud because I know there was some conversation in the chat, and I don't understand all the rules. I got a really good guy who helps me with this stuff. I'm backed up, but you need to tell them all about the backdoor Roth. It's a tax loophole to get money into a Roth, regardless of what you make. So that's what I'm on. That's what I'm doing.
Is that like the Peter Thiel thing?
Listen, I know a guy. He's really good.
I know a guy.
I just got the info.
Wait till you hear about the mega backdoor.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it. There are things we shouldn't. I'm be careful with the IRS. All right, so this is good. I want to go to yesterday's or the day before because JC's gonna love this take. We got some CEOs on here. Okay, Lyft, Piker purchase, $250,000 from the CEO. I gotta tell you guys something. The CFO is the master insider. The CFO is the master insider. There are
You've always said that though. Why is that such a hot take?
Because people would think the CEO is better and knows more, and he probably knows more, but he can't pick his spots. We're going to do a special report on this because just the sheer number of CFOs who came out and literally picked the exact bottom over the course of the past 2 years is crazy. Throw up the Adobe example. This is the most shining example. We saw a bunch of CFOs come in at the 2022 lows and do this. You don't see CEOs do that. Let me tell you why. First of all, CFO, there's a difference in materiality. CEOs have a lot of money. They're also the salesman of the company to the public. If your stock is crashing and your CEO is not out there buying shares, that's a bad CEO. It's literally his job to make little piker purchases to show a vote of confidence in the stock. That's not the CFO's job. CFO makes a good deal less money too. That is not his job. He's not expected to do that. When the CFO comes out and buys, it's never bullshit. Here's the other thing that the CFO is supposed to know really well and be an expert at. Knowing not just the numbers, they know the numbers, they know when they're throwing in the kitchen sink, they know when they're going to have a huge quarter next quarter or for the following 4 quarters. They know that better than anybody. But here's what's even better. They know what the street thinks, right? They know the market's expectation for their results. That's also their job. They should know exactly how the stock is going to react to the earnings that they're about to release. These guys can pick bottoms like no other. We see it time and time again. Go back to the table from the other day. We had a big CFO purchase. This guy came in during the yen yo-yo volatility. Remember? Historic spike in the VIX. This CFO's out there.
Like how we're still calling it the yen yo-yo volatility.
Rockwell Automation, $2 million. That is a big purchase for a CFO. Okay, came in, senior VP and CFO. This is Rockwell, ROK. He was buying right at the lows back in August. So you see this from the CFOs all the time. It's something that I think is very unique to the CFO. Of course, the CEO can come in and make a big purchase and pick the bottom. We saw Jamie Dimon, the diamond bottom back in 2015, 2016. So it does happen. Absolutely. But the CFOs are really, really good. They are the master insider.
I love how Strazza loves the CEOs.
The CFOs are the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah. But how about when the CFO and the CEO are both buying together? Is that just too rare to quantify, or?
No, that happens, but it is super rare. But think about what I'm saying. The CEO almost has to. The CEO is the front man for the business. Like, he's got to be out there buying during bad times. CFO doesn't. CFOs are not expected to do that. So the CEO, you have to almost be like, we see all these $100,000 buys by CEOs all the time, right, JC? Those are probably not something to overthink. They're supposed to be doing that when their stock is down.
So then what about the Rockwell, right? This is the senior VP and CFO. This is the one that stands out the most to you?
That's the one. Yeah. These guys just come out and nail the bottom. We see it all the time. It's great. We also had, there was some big activist stuff that didn't hit the hot corner list. We talked about Honeywell the other day. Pfizer's got a situation. Disney's got a situation. The 13Fs are hitting. So Berkshire Domino's is a big one. Everybody will talk about Michael Burry like we did earlier today. Probably want to ignore it.
Tell me why.
Huh?
Tell me why.
First of all, Michael Burry doesn't have a good track record. He made one great trade. Like, he's not a guy that I would follow anyway. He's famous.
But the rule of thumb is if they make a movie out of you, you have to buy everything that they buy.
Yeah, so that's why I'm in GameStop.
Right.
His track record is spotty, to say the least.
It's terrible, Spencer.
Especially on Twitter, where he's one of those. He likes to tell people to sell a lot.
He's one of these doomsday people. He probably has dinners with Ray Dalio. It's hard. It's hard.
He doesn't stand up Ray Dalio.
Definitely doesn't stand up Ray Dalio. They probably talk about the end of the world.
Yeah.
How they're low in water.
You don't think they talk about diversification and
I just can't.
Adding uncorrelated positions to the portfolio?
It's not for me. It's not for me.
No. All right.
Listen, guys, if you want to get the hot corner, it goes out every single market day. It's completely free. It takes maybe a minute to read if you read it slowly. The link is in the description. It's right where it says free research. There's a bunch of links there to all of our free stuff. Hot corners in there. You should check it out. Like I said earlier, there's a right way and there's a wrong way to actually pay attention to these filings. This is the right way.
And we do this special thing, Spencer, where we're trying to spot, textbook primary trend reversals and follow the insiders in as soon as a new uptrend comes underway or as soon as the path of least resistance shifts higher for a stock. And just because price action since last week, there are so many new screaming hot setups that we're getting into, like just fresh breakouts that saw big insider buying during the accumulation phase, right? We have these multi-year prolonged rounding bottom basing patterns, and we see the insiders buying or accumulating in the bases. Now, since the election, the price action we've seen, a lot of these bases are breaking out. So a lot of screaming hot reports.
Maybe we do like a live event next week.
We could do a special on it because there's just a lot of really actionable ones right now. Like I'm thinking of Square. Hut just triggered. Zillow is looking really good. We just put out the Warby Parker. Listen, there's so many more. I'm going to stop there. But these charts look great. These are the best.
Well, it is Crypto Friday, so I think we should talk about the doubling in CryptoPunks. If you want to throw up slide 2 and 3.
Did you sell the double? Do you sell the double in your NFTs? Do you ever sell the double rule?
No, I'm a hodler.
Yeah.
I hodl. I'm
Hey,
taking
how
him
about
to
the
the grave
Fez?
with me.
Sean stepped in, sold the puts in the Fez. I love that, dude.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So here you can see new highs, new 6-month highs in the crypto punks, right? Just absolutely ripping, literally doubled since the night of the election. And then zoom out on the next chart there, Spencer.
Where are you charting these days? OpenSea?
This is
What's
NFTpricefloor.com. I own NFTcharts.com.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should ever do anything with it, but I do own NFTcharts.com because, of course, I do.
Let's see how much NFTs come back, right? Like, I'm still not hearing people really talk about them.
No, me neither. Not at all.
Well, these are, just think about the difference. These are non-fungible tokens versus the fart coin and the Mudang and all these. These are fungible tokens.
No,
so
farts are non-fungible.
Fart coin is fungible.
But farts are non-fungible.
They can be.
You can touch a fart?
You know, I mean, it's, you know, have you ever seen those like infrared like videos where like you could see like the heat, you know, like the heat seekers?
If a fart
Like,
is fungible, my friend, it's not
just
even
because
a
you can't
fart.
see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Okay.
You think crypto punks get back to $500,000?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
I could use $500,000. I don't know. I mean, that'd be fantastic. You think it actually will?
Prior cycle highs are in play for everything right now.
So you think, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I'm talking my book and I'm trying not to be biased. I mean, I would love for this thing to go to $500,000. I mean, that would be great for me, obviously. I should have, in hindsight, I should have bought some more down at 60,000. But I
JC,
didn't.
here's the way I think about NFTs. They told us 2-3 years ago, these growth stocks will never see these valuations again. 2020, 2021, peak valuations, right? For long duration assets. Wiped out. We're never going back. I can't tell you how many of them are already more expensive now, today. NFTs fall into that long duration asset basket, right? Like,
I hope you're right, bro. I hope, man, do I hope you're right. That would be fantastic. I mean, I always assumed that this thing would go to $1 million. Here it is at 100,000, so we're nowhere near $1 million. But that would be fantastic if I own this thing that's worth $1 million.
We're going back, bro.
I hope so, man.
Back.
Dude, that would be epic, man. That would be epic. Could you imagine? That'd be so sick.
The chat, so good today. The chat brings extra heat on Fridays. Can we talk about space stocks?
Yeah, let's go space stocks. We'll do a little. I'm taking my daughter to IHOP today. She thinks it's cool that we're going to the International House of Pancakes.
Oh,
like,
that's
she thinks
awesome.
it's like such a fancy place.
IHOP, really quality stuff.
I used to think that too.
I love to get IHOP.
All right, let's talk about space. We're mooning.
I'm going to Mars. Who's coming with me?
Dude, I want to go to Mars so bad. Let's fucking go.
I'm not going to Mars.
I want to go to the moon first, and then we can think about Mars. Let's start with the moon. I'd love to go to the moon, dude.
Let's go to the moon. Yeah, let's go to the moon first. I like that idea. Yeah.
Like, we can't just go straight to Mars. Like, I don't think that's good. Let's just start at the moon.
So that was a play on words.
Could you imagine Strazza and me stuck in space?
I would.
You in the morning show from outer space?
One day. That in the metaverse. ARC Space Exploration and Innovation ETF, ARCX. This is a textbook trend reversal. This is that pattern that we get really, really excited about, right? This is a brand new bull market for space stocks. In the lower pane, you could see ARCX breaking a multi-year downtrend versus the broader market. That tells us we can anticipate more outperformance or leadership in the future. And those are really the two things that we're looking for. When we make the decision, hey, I want to go fishing in this pond of stocks, right? I want to go fishing for opportunities in this group. I want to see uptrend on absolute terms. So check that box in the upper pane here. And then I want to see leadership or relative strength from that group. And I think you're starting to see that in the lower pane, right? So we check both those boxes. Then what do? We find the strongest ones. I've been in Rocket Lab, shout out Louis, since Chicago. Louis got up, started talking about this company that makes space rockets from New Zealand. This was September something. The base was just completing. So I've been selling this. It was up like 50% yesterday or the day before on earnings. Touched those old all-time highs. Like I said, JC, going back, prior cycle highs are in play for the best ones. And then I redeployed it into, look at the Lunar here. So Lunar, I think, has two big levels. There's 10. I think you could treat the base breakout level as 10 and 13 for confirmation. That's a 30% range, but these are some wild high beta stocks. So that's just how it is. You got to deal with the volatility.
Let's talk about put up the holdings of of the Arc X. So
I got
this
them right
is
in front of me. Rocket Labs is the biggest one. It's driving most of the performance. Rocket Labs and
Rocket Labs is not the biggest one.
Palantir. What?
Rocket Labs is not the biggest one.
Well,
Rocket
I'm
Labs
on
is the
Coifin.
fourth. It's the fourth largest.
I see it at 10.5% on Coifin, but then Kathy's ARC, I see something very different. So
No, it's 6.8. It's 6.8%.
I'm gonna talk to Rob.
Throw it up, Spencer. There it is. So Iridium is 9%. Ketos, Kratos, Defense and Security Solutions. How about Amazon making the top 10 in the space ETF? Shout out Amazon.
Can I finish my bit here?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Trimble, another big holding. TRMB. This is an old aerospace and defense stock. Nice chart. Look at this. I think you could buy this base breakout. Path of least resistance is now higher, either strength above 75 or weakness back towards the base breakout level around 62. Ideally, it happens on strength, though, and you get a breakout in that little base and the relative trend, the lower pain at the same time. That's what you really want to see. New highs from both the absolute and relative trend. Love it. Next is this Lunar, LUNR. Kenny's been talking about this one.
Yeah.
So I've been scaling into this one here. Big down day yesterday. They sold it on earnings, big bearish engulfing, but it just brought it right back to the base breakout level. So I'm using 10 and 13 as my levels here. I love the base and the relative trend. This one looks just like Rocket Labs looked before it took off. Last but not least, we got to talk about the Space Mobile. I told my friend the other day, he called me and said, what are you buying? I said, I'm buying the Space Mobile. He laughed. He literally thought it was a joke or that I was talking about like cryptocurrency. And we ended up hanging up the phone. He still doesn't know that I was really buying the Space Mobile. But 2024, it's a lot like 2020, like I said. There's one right
I think it's Space Mobile.
Space Mobile.
I don't think it's Space Mobile.
It's
I think it's
Space
Space Mobile.
No, it's a Space Mobile. It's a mobile that rides.
Is that right? So it's
Yeah.
not a telecom company in space?
It is. It is. They're trying to outfit space with the internet. So I was saying that in my post. Drop the link to my post, Spencer, please. If you guys want to see these charts and some commentary around them, you can check them out on my blog. But I was saying you can't value a company like this, so don't try. They all had earnings this week, and I think it's impressive that they even make any money at all. Like one of them had $100 million in revenues.
No, I just think that there's a large total addressable market of people who need internet while they're in space, you know?
One day. Yeah. My point is, don't talk to me about the PE or the price to sales ratio on a company like this. There's a 30% short interest and is making new highs. That's all that really matters, right?
You don't think the PE is important for a company that provides internet in outer space? No?
I'm looking at one metric for all of these charts that I just shared. Short
And
interest.
that is,
They all have massive short interests. ASTS, Lunar, and Rocket Lab.
and these are just legacy shorts because investing in outer space is dumb and they just like overstayed their welcome, you think, basically?
The easiest shorts on the books were these long duration growth assets, right? That were absolutely crushed by interest rates in 2021 and 2022. Those were the shorts. And I think people are just staying too long. The most heavily shorted stuff today, JC, is the stuff that's been in the biggest drawdown off of the 21 or 22 highs.
No, it reminds me of the end of 22 going into 23. I mean, these guys were so short going into 23 that instead of covering their shorts on the decline throughout 22, they added to the shorts.
Yeah, right. No, they don't know when to leave. So ASTS, this one I like as much as any of them right now. This one in the Lunar, I'm building some big positions in right now. So that's it. Space stocks. We're going to do a series like the Growth Chronicles, just talking about all these speculative growth indexes and baskets of stocks. And we're going to talk about like our favorite ones. So we picked out like 4 of our favorites. The other one, I'll just say shout out just because it's the market for it. This is probably the junkiest one of them all, but the Virgin Galactic Holdings, SPCE, looks a lot like that array chart that we were talking about. Yeah, look at this. So maybe there's something there too. These stocks are working. Come on, GameStop.
All right, Spencer, shall we?
I'm done.
Just want to give a shout out to Philadelphia. I don't think Philadelphia gets a lot of love. Strazza, huge Philadelphia hater. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Good eats, good people. I feel like they get a bad rap because they're obnoxious sports fans. I got no beef with Philly. I like Philadelphia. I was in Philadelphia twice this week. That is 2 more times than I usually am ever. I'm never in Philadelphia, but whenever I'm there, I have a good time. Like, look at Strazza's face. Like, stop being such a hater, bro. When was the last time you were in Philly? When you were 12?
Yeah, on a field trip, and I'll never go back.
Right. Go with me. Trust me. You'll enjoy it. You know how I roll, Strazza.
I have fond memories of Philadelphia.
Of course you do. I'm fine
And the
with it.
history, I didn't do any history stuff yesterday, but dude, the architecture in Philadelphia, the history, I passed my certified sommelier exam in Philadelphia. I have fond memories.
Okay.
Since we're talking about wild investments today, JC's I guess buying shares in a racehorse.
No,
I
in
have
12
the chance,
racehorses.
Sure, okay. I have the chance to invest in essentially a fund that would buy up a ton of like 150 houses around Detroit.
Oh,
or
yeah.
in Detroit, I should say. Should I do it?
This is a thing.
Should I become a Detroit real estate slumlord?
Why not? Go crazy.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Real estate's so hot. If you don't have to be the one managing the buildings, like I love that stuff.
No, yeah,
No,
I wouldn't be. I can't manage. Obviously, I can't do that.
Real
so.
estate in Detroit, like that.
Actually having to manage your property when you rent it out, that's a different situation. That is a nightmare. That's nothing anybody should want to do. But if you can get into one of these situations where you could either hire a management company or be in like a consortium of investors, like it sounds like you're talking about, Spencer, that's great.
So we're bullish real estate in Detroit. Got it.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Buy the beaten
The
down
other side of
market.
that.
For sure.
Dude, who's
That's what I heard.
moving to Detroit?
And people got to live somewhere.
Last year had their first year of positive population growth in a long time.
Fake news. I don't believe it.
First year.
It happened. It happened.
Fake news. By the way, I like Detroit. I like the Greek town in Detroit. The eats there, dude. They have like the third largest Greek population in the world, or something crazy.
Are
Like
you
it's
just
like
kind of-
insane how many Greeks are there.
Are you just like a contrarian of cities?
Contrarian of cities?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And it's just kind of like taking the other side on all these cities.
Well, I mean, a lot of Detroit is a horrible place, but Greek town is cool. The good eats there.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
Queens, for example. A lot of Queens is not very nice, but you go to Astoria, good eating there.
The story is cool.
These Greeks,
I have a
dude,
lot of good
love
things
Greek
to say
people.
about
These Greeks,
Detroit.
the Greeks and their food, oh, they're a lot like Italians, you know?
I know a story.
Yeah, there's a very large Middle Eastern population in Southeast Michigan. So Greek and Chaldean, which is not a thing that we have anywhere else in this country. I think mostly they're just in Michigan. These are Catholic Iraqis, and they know how to cook. Shocker.
They got those Catholic Iraqis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, all right. We have an off the charts that has either gone live or I believe it already went live on the podcast platforms. So Strazza and Sean spoke with Stephen Place.
Yeah,
right,
great
for this one?
conversation. Yeah, really enjoyed that.
And that's it as far as live stuff on the channel today. We are doing, as I mentioned, this 3 o'clock video for members of AAC Crypto about how to get into these meme coins because it's pretty interesting stuff. So that'll be at 3 o'clock. But that's it for the channel today. So thanks to Louis, thanks to Kenny. Oh wait, we didn't bring Fonz on. What the hell?
They're memeing the
We'll
cats.
bring them on Monday.
All
We
right,
gotta go.
sorry,
We gotta get
Fonz.
to work.
Shit,
Sorry,
man.
Fonz.
Forgot all about you.
They're memeing
Come
the
on, Spencer.
dogs.
Oh man. Sorry about that. All right. Thanks, chat. Smash the like. Go make some money. All right.
I can't take no